Hello. Hello everyone. Is my audio good? Welcome to the Nerd On Update, the weekly show where we answer questions from you and also talk to you about the nerdy news that we love to talk about. Where's the we? There is no we tonight. Tonight is just me. So, welcome to the Nerd On Update, the weekly show where me answers questions from Moo, the audience. What's going on, everyone? Tonight we have an interesting show. Why the emotional damage? We have a fun show tonight. I have a fun show tonight. Sometimes Kevin Smith doesn't have Mark Bernardin. Sometimes Mark Bernardin does Black Man Beyond. Why can't I do Nerd Ton? It's okay. How's it going, everyone? It is Monday night. We don't talk about the names at all, right? Corey, Josh, and Caitlin, who's currently on right now. No, we're doing news. You know the deal, baby. It's Monday. There's all the news drop. I promise you, more news are going to drop tomorrow. That's even more annoying. But we're doing something a little different. You know, usually there's a chit chat. We talk to the co-host and we be like, "Oh, how you doing? How you doing? How are you doing?" The audience, Brad, T Dog, the lurkers out there, the VOD watchers out there, all y'all sexy Mitches out there. How you doing? Happy Monday. We got some news today. My co-hosts are indisposed or doing other things. You missed the last minute. I'm gonna be sharing some news, and I'm gonna be doing some things on the side screen. As you can see, we got this all set up, baby. Doing good. I have a headache. I'm so sorry. Hey man, gotta have that water. I haven't had any water today, so I'm drinking like half a gallon right now. Half a gallon right now. Hope you guys had a good weekend. A lot of stuff's been going on. Crazy things have been going on. I got a crazy week ahead of me. We got some shoots we got to be doing. I've been watching a lot of things over the weekend. Some movies, some shows. I'm eating influencer chocolate, craving pizza. I ate really well today, so the cravings are real. Hey man, I get you. I just finished my first package of HelloFresh. I didn't know they were going to charge you every week for your packages, and I was like, oh, I didn't know that was the case. So, it's cool. It's really good, especially if you don't grocery shop for yourself, to have stuff packaged to you and sent to you, and all you gotta do is follow it. I did 3 meals a week, and it was like $58 total. And then if you used our promo code for the limited time that we were sponsored by them on a stream, it was like $15 for the first week, which is kind of nice. I'm going to take this other old man pill that I had to take. But yeah, we got some shows. You know, the thing I don't have a lot for this show lined up tonight is a lot of questions, and that's where y'all can help out. Going through the comments, the chats, and all that stuff. We're gonna do the news first, but I like how we say we, because you know what? It's about you and me. There's no show without me. There's no show without y'all, the audience. You know, we're here together. We are here. Yeah. You already put a question in chat. Oh my goodness, is it the monster one? Let me see. Give me 1 second. Now you do have to give me a little time. A little time. All right. I can't get all of them. All right, so let's get this started. Let's get this started, shall we? We got some news. So as you can see to my right, y'all's left. This is, you're gonna see a little visualizer. You see a little visualizer while we're doing this thing, while I do the news and all that stuff. But before we get started, let's make sure we get some audio clap syncs for fun, baby. This is Solo Tom, or as the Star Wars says, my friend calls me, my furry friend, Tom Solo. I need some clappies from the audience, please. Can't do it without y'all tonight. I'm waiting. Gotta get them chat. This is Brad. Thank you. That's it. We are ready to go, baby. I feel like that's the funny thing. It's like, you know, when things start like being particularly very, very safe and good, and we could do like a live show again and all that stuff, or even we have the capability of doing a live show again, we'll have to like, okay, we have to wait, and then have to wait till like an audience member just claps. if it's not local. Rattling from Mamba, I think he's on Caitlin's stream. She says hi, by the way. Tell her I say hi, but also, what come on, baby, you weren't going to tell me that I could be a slime, would you? Okay, that's fine. But anyways, tonight, something's happened over the weekend. A movie, Black Adam, premiered. And I wasn't going to talk about this on the news because I was like, it's over the weekend. Not a lot of people went to go watch the movies and all that stuff. But it kind of just blown up all over. And I don't know if I'm really happy that like everyone's just like releasing the news. And that's the thing about Nerd On, we're not the fastest in news, but we're going to talk about it the most. But on social media, everywhere, including the man himself, has made an announcement. And I'm not gonna spoil it this way. I'm just gonna say it like this. We're gonna use the visualizer that I have here presented with us today, and we're gonna go blam! Look at that! I got it. I got the visualizer. So we're gonna watch this together. We're gonna experience this announcement from Mr. Henry Cavill himself, the blue check mark. And here we go. Whoops.
Because I wanted to give you all a chance to watch Black Adam. But now that plenty of you have, I wanted to make it official that I am back as Superman. And the image you see on this post and what you saw in Black Adam are just a very small taste of things to come. So there's a lot to be thankful for, and I'll get to that in time. But I want to thank you guys most of all. Thank you for your support, and thank you for your patience. I promise it will be rewarded.
Dun 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 dun. So yes, that released today on Monday, October 24th, and it's a Monday once again. Shout out David Lynch. But yeah, Henry Cavill is back. I'm not gonna spoil how the grand entrance was made, X, Y, and Z. If you have the internet, you guys probably saw it already. But since it's on social media already from the source themselves, it's like it's not really a spoiler if they made the announcement already. All the trades have it, Hollywood Reporter, Variety, all them things. Now, first of all, let's talk about this. Blue suit, spit curl, right? A lot of Snyder fans out there who are like, I hate, like I don't want the spit curl, and he should have the black suit from the Snyder Cut. And then there's like Snyder fans like me and like other people, I guess, who are just like, I'm just glad he's back. I'm glad it's on his terms. The Rock has spoken a lot about on the red carpet how this was a battle for 6 years, aka since 2017, since that goddamn Justice League movie, to get Henry Cavill back. He's only been cameoed, or the Superman character's only been a cameo. He was headless in Shazam and a silhouette in Peacemaker. I actually had no idea. You are in fact the one who spoiled this for me. I am sorry and you're welcome, Brad. Yeah. Henry Cavill is back, and he's gone on multiple interviews and podcasts, and maybe not podcasts, but like videos and talk shows and all that stuff, talking about how the suit was always in the closet, that Henry Cavill always wanted to come back, and what his desires for the character was. And he knew eventually at the end of the day, and as we all know, it's kind of like we all know Thanos was going to get the Infinity Gauntlet and assemble all the stones. We just don't know what was going to happen afterwards. So we all know that Henry Cavill intends that Superman were to succumb to the anti-life equation, but we just don't know what's going to happen in between from now and then. And Henry Cavill really looks like he's gearing up so he can move forward with it. There was talks maybe around 2018, I think, when Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, no, Fallout came out and Henry Cavill was in there. No, it had been 2017 because Stash, right? Mustache Gate. And Henry Cavill and Christopher McQuarrie kind of pitched at Warner Brothers at the time, run by AT&T, a movie. And I think Tom Cruise was going to be in there as like a Green Lantern, maybe. Who knows? Again, a whole different timeline in the world and all that stuff. At that point in that time, like Justice League Part 2 was supposed to have come out by 2018, and Part 3 was supposed to come out by 2019. They're all going to be shot back to back, but due to unforeseen circumstances and also just a terrible, terrible way, we go listen to the Snyder Cut, podcast that we have on our podcast app. But yeah, Henry Cavill is back. And The Rock has talked about how, it was up until a year ago that he was fighting to have Henry Cavill Superman to come back. And, he's been teasing it. And, Hiram Garcia, Danny Garcia, the co-heads of Seven Bucks Production, that's the production company that Dwayne The Rock Johnson co-created. Shout out to his Steves. I know he's like having a major, nerd on right now because I mentioned, his boy. They post on social media this image and also like that their work is done for today. So we don't know what's going to happen in the future. And like I said, with the Snyder Cut, you can't rule anything out. Anything could happen at this point. So it's crazy. I'm going to have to ask you to pin that question, Brad, only because I can't copy it onto my notes yet. Maybe I'll scroll through and we'll have some time, but I just want to make sure that like if y'all have questions, keep blowing them up. Maybe I'll just scroll through it all. That's totally fine. Anyways, just keep give me the question. Give me all the questions. All right, next up, next story, next news bit. Succession season 4 teaser released last night on the Game of Thrones season finale episode. A lot of people watched it, I'm sure, but a good way to show us a teaser for what's to come is always at the end of something that has concluded. And House of Dragons, I feel, is a really well written show. Is it the best directed? I don't know. I think it's actually carried a lot by its very powerful acting performances and choices. I think it's very well directed. Is it the greatest, best directed? I don't know. I mean, it's too early for me to say. I have to let it sit with me for a little bit. But I watched it. But the news, and this all kind of comes from proxy from Josh. So if you're watching this, listen to this, make sure you go on our Discord, baby, nerdon.tv/Discord, and at Josh and tell him I hope your back is doing better and we love and care about you. And we're talking about Succession, his topic. And so Succession season 4 is coming out. Succession season 4 is coming out. Now this is just from Variety. Again, you're pretty much your most trusted sources of like kind of official things. Although Hollywood Reporter in 2018 said that Henry Cavill was completely out, and that might be the case. Henry Cavill was kind of saying that in the video that he was not, there's a long story of his return to this to the Cape, but we don't know exactly what were the ins and outs. A lot of people speculate it was money. A lot of people speculate that Warner Brothers at the time just wanted to parade him around in the cameos. And this is all from, THR and Variety. Variety also said there's no such thing as Snyder Cut. Again, we live in a post-Snyder Cut world where anything is possible. So, but we know this right now, and we all saw it with our eyeballs, that Succession season 4, the trailer, the teaser came out. And I'm not going to go over all the things that happened in it if you're not caught up with Succession, but the official log line right here, I'm going to follow and say the official log line for season 4 reads: the sale of media conglomerate Waystar Royco to tech visionary Lucas Matson, played by Alexander Skarsgård, moves even ever closer. The prospect of this seismic sale provokes existential angst and familial division amongst the Roys as they anticipate what their lives will look like once the deal is completed. A power struggle ensues as the family weighs up a future where their cultural and political weight is severely curtailed. If you have never seen Succession, that means nothing to you. So for people who have watched Succession, like that is like, ooh, so much good buzzword stuff, right? So the cast includes Brian Cox, Jeremy Strong, don't know the rest of their first names, but Snook, Culkin, Alan Ruck, McFadden, Nicholas Braun, and J. Smith Cameron, with Skarsgård reprising his role as Mattson. The upcoming 10 episodes for the season will also feature Peter Friedman, David Raish, Fisher Evans, Haim Abbas, Justine Lupe, Scott Nicholson, Zoe Winters, and Ginny Berlin. I think it's a great show. I think it's one of the, like every generation, I think HBO kind of has like the show. Sopranos, it was The Wire, it was True Detective. Again, they're all paired with like an AMC, the generation show of like Walking Dead, even that's still going on, Breaking Bad, Mad Men. And so, now is the time of Succession, where it's like, this is going to be the show that, the new generation is going to remember, of like, I remember that one show everyone kept talking about, and then they never watched it, and then they go back and like, dang, that's a really good show. So yeah, I really like it. It's really good. The music's really catchy, and it's very interesting. The pilot's directed by Adam McKay, who did such things as The Big Short, Vice, and Don't Look Up. And I think it's very interesting. It's kind of like, they say that's like the elevator pitch of Arrested Development, where it's like, what was it? Was it Desperate Housewives, but shot like cops? There is a very documentary kind of thing, fly in the wall kind of thing that happens in these shows, but they've kind of leaned more towards the cinematic in a lot of their framing. It's very beautiful, and I think it's really cool. But yeah, it's a play exciting things. Does it say when? Release for 2023. So that's exciting. Next year, new show. Season 3 started out with this year. I was very excited, and the fact that we were able to go in real quick is pretty crazy. Next bit of news. I did not look this up, actually. So I do have it on my phone, though, because it is a bit of a sad note before we get into our questions portion. A little bit of a shorter episode today, huh? Leslie Jordan passed away. Leslie Jordan passed away today in a automobile accident, which is very unfortunate. And most people like me know their work from writing Will and Grace, if you're in my age group. But a lot of people who are younger than me know their work from being a huge Instagram influencer. And I was like, what? Writer, producer, Instagram influencer? And during, the shutdown and the pandemic, they went to social media and amassed 5.8 million followers. And so I think it's actually kind of cool, noteworthy that people literally from all age groups are, mourning the death of this writer and singer. And it's pretty cool that like we can kind of still be united under the memory of someone else. A lot of sad Mondays so far, and hopefully we have some brighter ones. But as we get closer to the end of the year, I'm pretty sure we'll have to try to remember those we lost along the way. That being said, we can move on to the questions, baby. Now, the question portion. Again, if you're brand new and you just like came across this video on the VOD or on YouTube and you're just like, what is this show? And then you're like, I want to put questions in. You can send questions over to nerdon.tv/questions, right? That's one way to do it. But the more chill part of the conversation, community way you can do it is joining the Discord. And that's at nerdon.tv/Discord. And when you join that free Discord server, there are channels, and there's the Nerd On update and questions, and you can put them in there. We'll put them into a bucket. We've been burning through so many questions lately. We can definitely use more questions. We would love to have all the questions. Ask any kind of question, nerdy questions. Who would win in a fight with this? If we would win a fight, like what's your favorite, Corey always says, what's your favorite foot? And he always says it's the left one, and I don't know why. It's probably because he's left-handed. He's a serial killer by night. He's like Michael Myers. He's a switch hitter. It doesn't matter. Anyways, but you can ask us any question. Who's the best shooter in anime? Is it Vash the Stampede or is it Spike Spiegel? Who would win a fight between Naruto or Gohan? And who could shoot more arrows, Hawkeye or Legolas? Who who can fly faster, Silver Surfer or Superman. I have no idea. But if you join our Patreon, the Nerd On Nation, for as low as $1, then you would be supporting our show, helping us maintain our podcast website, helping us keep all of our hosting so we can hold all our shows so you don't have to subscribe to a different place where we hold our premium podcasts. All that being said, nerdon.tv/Patreon, for as little as $1, you can then you'll see in the Discord a secret channel where only patrons can submit stuff in, and that's a chance for you to kind of like open up a little bit. A lot of that stuff is very sacred, and a lot of stuff we share with patrons that don't even that the rest of the audience don't know about, and it's not like an exclusive thing, but it is like it gives you more access to things. And Byzantine, thank you for the follow, appreciate it. Please submit your questions now. This is the time for your questions, like this. See, look at that. Look at the news, baby. I'm an anchor. I am an anchor. All right. So first thing first. Question from T-Dog. Oh my God. Where's the question? I copied it, but I didn't even put it in my notes section. So I'm gonna get this question out right now. Right now. Okay. Which is cooler? Which is a cooler monster? Krakens or Hydras? Krakens or Hydras? So the Kraken, giant squid monster that can kill, destroy ships and you know, squids and whales apparently fight all the time. Giant sea monster, and then a Hydra, a mythical creature that if you cut off one head, another one grows back in its place. I mean, for me, pound for pound, it's probably going to be the Hydra because that ain't real. But giant squids are real. Giant squids are real. And I'll tell you right now, I used to not make fun, but kind of like chortle, if you would, at Corey's wife, because she has subnauticophobia, or I was afraid of big things underwater. And like I was like, it's underwater. What are you doing? Are you swimming out into the ocean? And then I played Sea of Thieves, and then we got attacked by a Kraken, and that Kraken threw me in the ocean. I'm like, this is probably the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I was like, I get it. I 100% get it. So what's scarier? Kraken. Hydra, you know, I think a little bit of the Snaggletooth Man from Hercules, and that's totally fine and cool. But also, you know, it's so funny because I think I saw this thing on Twitter, which was like, someone's like, I just saw what the Hydra symbol in the MCU was, and it's a skull and like tentacles. Like, that's more like a squid. And it's like a Hydra's more like this, and they're like, what is this even supposed to be then? And it's like a symbol, you know, like most things. Like, it doesn't really have to represent the name of the thing, but like also, why isn't the symbol of Hydra like a frilled dinosaur monster man? But yeah, that's my answer. I think the Hydra is cooler as a monster. The Kraken is scarier as a monster. I'm going to go on to the next question. This one comes from Bad Reprint. Question: as any true LA local knows, Fat Sal's always dresses up as a pop culture reference with a special menu every Halloween. Which fictional restaurant would you like to see them become this year? You know what, Brad, Bad Reprint, homie, fam, I did not know that. I have eaten at Fat Sal's for so many times, and I literally have taken Caitlin there one time. We went to like a Patreon event, and I used to like love Fat Sal's. I would go there all the time when I was first living in LA, like from 2014 to 2016. I would go there like maybe once a month, because my roommates loved to go. And the idea is like, oh yeah, we're going to Turtle Spot from Entourage, but I did not know they dress up as a pop culture reference with the special menu every Halloween. I end up seeing an old campaign that Burger King did. Yeah, I think Burger King dressed up as McDonald's one year, aka like they had all their stuff look like McDonald's looking things, but then they would have like, so instead of like, they had the arches in their boxes, but underneath it you could still see it says Burger King, kind of like a bad ghost costume for like a kid with a blanket and the eyeballs cut out. And I was like, that is ingenious marketing, but I'd have to imagine they were going to get sued for that. So I don't know if they do that anymore, but I was like, that's super cool. That's like proto Wendy's cool person Twitter level, right? I'm like, dang, that's meta. But dressed as a pop culture reference with a special menu every Halloween. I mean, right now, shoot, I think Fat Sal's Sando, a special menu, a special menu. I mean, okay. The big answer is probably Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk 2077. I think it'd be pretty cool. How you can do sandwiches? I think you do like much more like the. This sounds really weird. The fermented stuff. So like a kimchi or the daikon stuff that's like really bright, and so the food would look really bright and all that stuff, right? So it looks like the food is neon, and obviously you call it like neon future or whatever you want to call it, but like Cyberpunk 2077. You rename all the energy drink or all the drinks and all the stuff like some kind of electric fire or something like that, and all the sandwiches are like ridiculous, and you do all the neon colors for the menus. I think it'd be super cool. And then you have just techno house music playing in the background. But the actual pop culture reference that I would think I would want, and that's the thing where it's like, is it really pop culture? It's not even. It doesn't air anymore. It was big in my time, and even then as a kid, I was like, I don't get this. And I've only appreciated the show more later on in life, is probably Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I think you could do the Brood Witch as like their featured sandwich. And then you could always ask for the roasted tomatoes on the side, because that's a whole bit in the show. You have a Master Fry lock, which is like a giant thing, and it has like a cool dressed up, fry thing. You have, just the straight meat wad, and then it's just probably like a crouton, or it's probably like a meat patty, and then like croutons for eyes and teeth, and then like it's like much more of a meat thing instead of like an actual burger. And then you have shake, and that's it. I think like how like to me, I think that's super. That's how I would do it. I don't know if I necessarily answered the question, because again, I did not know that as an actual LA local. So I'm not truly an LA local. I guess I'm still repping Sacramento, but I should check that out. That's super cool. All right, next question. I see a lot of stuff has happened. All right, T-Dog, take care of yourself. I hope your headache is it leaves itself, or you get hydrated and take care. They've been so many. Okay. Question, Tom, from Brad Reprint. Tom, how does it feel to fucking nail the solo format tonight? I don't know. I'm panicking on the inside. I'm playing it off as if like I got this energy. I'm good. Diarrhea. My whole body inside is just like unhappy, scared, alone. Kind of like when you're eating like really hot like soup, and like you put like a jalapeno, you put the hot sauce, you put the sriracha, you put the chili oil, you put the little chili flake in there, and you're just like, so good. And then you get to like the fourth bite, and you sip in the soup, and then you're like, I've drank a lot of water in order for me to just be chill. And I don't know if I can finish this, because there's that it's I would say it's almost like that. It feels like a tire. It feels like a nail going into a tire. That's how it feels in your stomach when you're just like, I don't know if I'm going to make it. So there's a little bit of fear in your eyes, but also just determination. That's how it feels right now. So that's how it feels. It's like, does this fail, or is there determination in my eyes? I have had a lot of coffee today. Today was a big day at work. We're doing a lot of new things. I'm having to train a new guy to help me around, because the show is evolving and changing, the show I work on to pay bills and stuff like that. And we have a shoot tomorrow morning. And just a lot of responsibility falls on my lap. And so today was like a bunch of like, you found out on Saturday noon, so it's like time to hit the ground running. And it's like, all right, cool, can I do this? And as someone who's constantly trying to move towards the upper the ranks in the industry, it is like, okay, can I get this done? So, I hope I nail it. I hope people like it. This is all gonna go up online, and we'll see if people resonate with it. I'm not trying to take the show for sure because I miss having someone else to have banter with. But I'll tell you right now, I am someone that needs to learn how to shut the fuck up sometimes. But that's what this format's for, is for people who can't shut the fuck up and they have something to say. And maybe some people want to listen. Maybe you don't want to feel alone. Maybe I don't want to feel alone. That's why we're here. So, next question. They were McDowell's from Coming to America, Big Kahuna. Okay, most recently Squid Game. Okay. Oh, yeah, you know what? Maybe I did see that. Maybe I did see Squid Game. That's cool. Okay, so if that's the case, they got to be a burger joint. Man, Big Belly Burger, from the DC universe, and have definitely a fry cook or like the main manager dude be like that dude that knows. I think his name's Bippo. Yeah, his name's Bippo. Comic books, man. And they have to, like, their special thing. They have to serve a slice of like pie, because Clark always gets pie there. No, Big Belly Burger is different than Bippo's. Bippo's is a diner, and Big Belly Burger is just a franchise. So would I want that, or yeah, they have to be Big Belly, and the Big Belly is just a Big Belly. So that's it. I'll post some examples of the year's Discord. Free stress-related weight loss sounds dope. Are you talking about what I'm going through? DC Web Represent should have you released. You'd find a way to do that. I mean, I'm just saying, I will always find a way. Hey, everyone, just got done with work. 1992, Johnny Horror. Welcome to the Nerd Tom Solo show. It's a Nerd On Update. My co-host couldn't be here tonight. But if you have any questions, we're on the questions portion. We did talk about Henry Cavill Superman returning. He posted about on social media, and then also Succession. If you have any questions about that, you can feel free to answer some of those or ask some of those questions if you had any. I'm looking at our Discord, and I'm wondering if I missed any questions that I could answer. I think we got them all. So that's totally fine. I mean, I see that some people have answered questions. I mean, there's some things I asked of y'all, of like, what would you want to see be the next Nintendo live action adaptation, and to make like the Smash Bros cinematic universe. So yeah, Tom Solo. Holy shit, is that a good thing or a bad thing, Johnny? Or did I make a good or did I make a bad? Did I make a cringe? Did I do a cringe? And let's see. Oh, ask me anything. Boom. See, these are the questions. I think I answered this question a while ago. From T Dog, and Steve's isn't here, so he can't really answer this question. But is there any questions here? I mean, I have questions. See, look at this. I have a list. Now you guys could see the list that I go through, and it's like we have some organization here. So this is like technically the bucket. This is literally the bucket. You're always great, buddy. I appreciate that. You know, we try out here, and you know, it's always better when we're not doing it alone. You know, sometimes we gotta do some things alone, but most times we don't. And that's just like maybe even letting people know that we are doing things. And you know, just saying it like this, you know, even though the podcast right now is on hiatus, I guess this is a little bit more news. The podcast is on hiatus. We do talk, you know, the co-hosts and we all talk about where the show's going, what we want with it, and all that stuff. So don't think it's like completely and utterly like, you know, hands off. It's in the back burner at this point. So there is conversations, there are plans, there are trajectories, there are destinations that we want to get to. But in due time, please keep following us on all social media to see what we have in mind. And yeah. 1992, Johnny Horror does have a question. If you have any questions, anyone else on the chat, this is the time for the live questions. If you have any questions you think about later, check out that Discord, nerdon.tv/Discord. But 1992, Johnny Horror asks, I do have a question. Is it for real there's a Zelda coming to Netflix starring Tom Holland? You know what I like to do? This is something I used to do at my old job. Let's find out together. Netflix Legend of Zelda. Boom. The first thing it says. No, a new Zelda series isn't coming to Netflix. Mashable. Wow. That is ridiculous. Why is this a thing? Why is this a thing? Emma Watson. Oh, is it because this dude? A full cat, man. JK, I made it with Midjourney. Have y'all used Midjourney? Midjourney is wild. Oh, but I'll say this: the casting is a little. You know what I'm really excited about is Jamila Jamil. Is that her name? Who's in The Good Place? She's been blowing up lately. Jamila Jamil, yeah, she's been blowing up lately, and I'm pretty happy because like I felt like everyone from The Good Place deserved like, you know, to have a future after the show, and I never seen her before until this, and she was Wonder Woman on DC Super Pets, and then she was in She-Hulk, and it seems like she's being asked to be in a lot of things right now. But Legend of Zelda Netflix, interesting. No, I guess it's not. It's not a real thing. But I mean, do you guys like this fan cast? Again, a show that Corey wants to do where we would talk about who we would cast in certain things. I think there's actually really cool versions of that show too that could be purely this like playground of exploration in our mind. However, to answer your question, Tom, about what the next movie for Nintendo, but more of an anime adaptation is Star Fox. Oh, well, I mean, this is the thing. I think Nintendo Studios is becoming a thing. So, like, depends how they want to go with it. I think Nintendo had a long deal with Warner Brothers for a long time. Warner Brothers was the one to distribute the Pokemon movie. But then I think after Detective Pikachu, either Warner Brothers licensed off the rights for an American distribution, and so now Netflix has the rights, and so does Legendary. So it's interesting, and you know, if you see the Netflix, and this is like a small thing, right? Because I think Pokemon is separated between Creatures, Game Freak, and Nintendo, whereas like all the Nintendo characters, or yeah, most Nintendo characters like Metroid Samus, Star Fox, Mario, F-Zero, Captain Falcon, those characters are purely like Nintendo has those. There's no if, ands, or buts. For me, I would say, okay, let's see what some other people said on the Discord. Let's see what some people said on the Discord. Boom. Yeah, okay, so some people said Metal Gear. The thing about Metal Gear was originally Sega? Or was that Konami? I can't remember. But it was originally a PlayStation thing. So the fact that they were in Smash Bros. To begin with is a huge thing. I think that's pretty cool. Earthbound. I like that answer. Battery print. Take like a very... man. But part of me feels like the only way to shoot Earthbound is to have A24 do it and just be like just... weirdo shit, which could be super cool because it's like there's like a bee and it's like from the future, and then like the original game is called Mother, or the second game's called Mother, right? I mean, if you want to talk about crazy movie rights, I didn't realize this, but the people who have the rights, or the company that has the rights to do the next live action adaptation of Dragon Ball at all, is Disney. And I'm like, oh man, where did this come from? And I think it's because Fox had the rights to it, so now automatically it rolls over. That being said, even the Dragon Ball Evolution, some we don't talk about, I still sighed, and I think I heart James Masterson, Masters, Spike from Buffy, because he exactly produced that, and because he loves Dragon Ball Z, and I'm like, man, you gotta respect the dude. Like, I think sheer will of his own was able to make the movie at all. But he might have been the only one pulling the strings, which is really difficult. Earthbound is Mother 2, the sequel to Mother. Mother was not released in the West, so they renamed it Earthbound. Okay, Earthbound is Mother 2, the sequel to Mother. Mother was not released in the West, so they renamed it Earthbound. It's a sequel. Its sequel, Mother 3, was never officially. So the only game you can get is Earthbound, which is Mother 2. So there's even a game prior to that has other story relevance to it. I'm feeling this is the reason why people should emulate, because not being able to get things that were not released is a crime in some ways. Where it's just accessibility for like a kilobyte file. I think they're all on Switch Virtual thing. That could be something. It's funny. I bought a Switch dock so I can play on my TV in my living room. I haven't played a lick of it, and I'm like, I still haven't played Pokemon Arceus, and Scarlet and Violet are coming out. I'm like, oh my god, should I just play that? All that being said, I'm having like such an identity crisis of what to play. Let's see. I mean, director gave his likeness to Kojima to use Death Stranding, so they're probably still in touch, even though Konami doesn't want them to be, and that's a good sign. I mean, I thought, wasn't Oscar Isaac the one that was going to play Solid Snake? Is that not a thing? Is that not a thing? Okay, Oscar Isaac gives an update. We're searching like Solid Snake. Oscar Isaac gave an update, live action movie. During the red carpet premiere, we're climbing through air ducts. We're looking forward to the story of Metal Gear Solid. So he's still the guy. Yeah, Oscar Isaac is still the guy. I mean, as of this report, was cast as Snake in Metal Gear Solid movie. Okay, yeah. Okay, sounds like it's development. There's nothing been changed with that. Yes, Oscar Isaac was at least in talks with time. Not sure now. This is March, July 2. July. Still happening. Box office success. Still going forward. Climbing through air. Oscar Isaac and everything, baby. Oscar Isaac and everything, which I'm glad. Oscar Isaac supremacy. Brings a wealth of acting experience. Yeah. If you guys haven't seen Triple Front on Netflix, Ben Affleck, Oscar Isaac. Man, what am I doing? I have the internet right in front of me. Triple Frontier. My bad. Triple Frontier. The movie. Who you got? You got Ben Affleck, Oscar Isaac, Charlie Hunnam, Garrett Hedlund, and Pedro Pascal. Come on, man. Look at this. This cast was crazy. This is a Netflix action movie. And I was like, yo, this could be pretty baller. And Charles Roven, who'd produced the Dark Knight series. Yeah, Ben Affleck was leading this crack team. And Oscar Isaac, I think... Oscar Isaac? Was it Pedro Pascal? I might have been Pedro Pascal. Anyways, they were just phenomenal. They were phenomenal. I know Earthbound Zero was a Wii U virtual console, but never had a Wii U. Well, good. He's the best possible casting nowadays. The dream casting for Old Snake was Big Boss, of course. Kurt Russell maybe could play Revolver also. Ooh. Bad reprint. I like where your head's at. Oh, that's so good. That is so good. Could you imagine just the charisma he would bring? I think of is it in Snake Eater when at the very end he's in the helicopter and he like throws the revolvers around and then like you have to like figure out what he's gonna do. Crazy. Anyways, it looks like some answers for the next Smash Bros. Cinematic Universe was Legend of Zelda. I think that would be definitely an undertaking. I'd want Metroid. I watched a whole timeline of the Metroid series, and I it was crazy to think that actually all the games are connected, and like the only like aside was the Metroid Prime series, which takes place in between certain games. But the other M is like an expansion of like an origin. Um, not a lot, I know not a lot of people liked it or really recognize it, but it doesn't necessarily ruin the canon of anything. It just kind of messes with the characterization of certain characters. But like the idea that like you know Samus Aran has this Chozo DNA and that allows her to be kind of like, and that's the thing. That's the thing with these video game characters: Mega Man, Kirby, Mario, Samus, all y'all be like, my power is to take the power of bad guys and use that power better than those bad guys. Which I'm like, I mean, hey, there's a cinematic universe that's made to copy one specific thing. Why not this one too? And it's just kind of crazy to think like, all right, that's how they do it. That's how you can do it. But like, it'll be interesting. Like, and I liked how it's like, oh, okay, cool. Now she gets this DNA, so now the Metroid sees her this way, and so now you have to combine that DNA. But then now this DNA is doing this, but then you do this other DNA that counteracts the other DNA, and I'm like, what is happening? And then her variable suit is like changing with her DNA, which I'm just like, this is a lot. Samus, that actual armor is plot armor. But Brie Larson has said she wants to play it. I like Brie Larson a lot as an actor. I think she could be a great Samus Aran. I could totally imagine how you would do a story, but it is like a big kind of convoluted story. So imagining trying to think of like a Metal Gear Solid story. I mean, I started playing the first game on PlayStation recently, and yeah, the story's kind of crazy. It was just like you get dropped off, you're trying to stop them from whatever they're doing, and then obviously we all know that we're gonna find out they're creating or housing a Metal Gear, which is a giant mech, which is the WMD, weapon of mass destruction, and then the interlocking espionage plot from our government, their government, these shadow organizations, all this stuff to create this thing. It's you can technically, I don't know. It's like what do you really want to lean into? Do you want to lean into like the thrillery spy stuff, or do you want to lean more into the actiony stuff? Right? Like there are things you can do. So like Mark Bernardin talked about it really well on the Fat Man Beyond podcast, and he said like the good way to kind of do a Mortal Kombat movie, if you want to just do that, is kind of just like rip something off. Great artist steal, good artist copy, right? Or even bad artist copy. But to do like a Mortal Kombat movie, you kind of just take the Game of Death, I think, storyline from the Bruce Lee film, where it's like a tournament and people die, and you do that as a Mortal Kombat movie, and you just revolve it around a titular character or a singular character. And so with Metal Gear Solid, I'd have to imagine you do something like a James Bond movie or The Rock, even, right? Where it's just like, cool, you get one location, you do one thing, here's the mission, and here's this character and how they do it. All the twists and turns and all this stuff. I think still to this day, where a lot of movies get a lot of problems is having to jump between continent to continent to continent, where it's like Transformers, where it's like, now we're in Hong Kong, now we're in Europe, now we're in Greece, now we're in, back in Detroit. And it's like, all right, how are we getting to all these places so quickly, right? And I don't think it's necessarily like the logistics of it, but it's more just like when we're in one place, we can really kind of feel like that character lives there instead of like hopping and jumping to new place. That being said, I feel like with a Metal Gear Solid movie, and if Oscar Isaac said they're trying to find the story, what is the story? I think always ultimately the story of any soldier of fortune or career combatant is always going to be that their own organization is working against them, or their organization is not as clean and tight as they think, and there's always a mole in there. And I think that fits very easily in the Metal Gear Solid world. The thing is, you're always going to have to fight purists. You're always going to have to fight people who want exactly word for word what the game was or source material X, Y, and Z, but not allowing it to breathe and grow and adapt itself. That's why I think, Sandman, the show, did a very good job in adapting. Like, hey, we can't just do the book exactly. We have to adapt it for a modern audience, put it in the 21st century, and use these characters in different ways. But with Metal Gear Solid, I think there's a bunch of stories, and so for me, it's like, that's the tough thing. The MCU, I give it a lot of flack and I criticize it a lot, but in terms of long form storytelling and having to plan stuff out, there is probably no one better. There is no one better that does the planning ahead kind of storytelling that they do, because to me it's very antithetical to like creativity. It's very much like you have to plant seeds and you're really just like planting them very, very far in advance. And they're like, what's the movie? Then they're like, who's writing it? Now go write it. And then they don't have to find the producer because they already know Kevin Feige's producing it, right? And the producer's the one that's setting all those things in motion. And then once the writing and the producer is like, cool, I approve of this script, now they're like, let's go find a star. And that's how it is in the indie world, right? You write the script, you make it a good script, and then Tom, some indie guy, is like, you know what, I'm going to get, and that's why Shia LaBeouf is such a, guy, because he's a big star, and then he'll probably jump onto any indie project, and then people are like, oh my God, throw money at it, where, other actors can definitely fill in those roles and stuff like that, but, what you want to get the backers and people excited about is a star. And so, they find the star. Like, Captain Marvel, and that one specifically is like when they were like, this is how it started from start to finish. It was literally announced in 2014 they were going to do a Captain Marvel. I think the script was written in 2015, and then Brie Larson was signed to play in 2016, and then they found the director in 2017, and it went to production in 2018, released 2019. And it's like that kind of thing where it's like the long form kind of work that needs to happen for these giant IP franchises adaptations, which is crazy. I think it's just like, that's a lot of years of your life to dedicate to this thing. And obviously, if you're a big company, you can pay people on retainer and contractually keep them X, Y, and Z, and hopefully not get away with their other projects. But Metal Gear and Oscar Isaac being like, okay, cool. It's just kind of weird that they didn't have the script already made for him. They're like, hey, we know Solid Snake, we know Metal Gear, we know what story we can do, we know the genre. So writing the story, is, I think, this first thing you should have done, and then finding the star, and then finding the correct director for you. And who can direct a movie like that, man? Who would be a good spy? And that's the thing, right? Like, who would do a good spy action-y movie? It depends how you want it to work, right? I mean, there's part of me that thinks Ryan Johnson can do it really well, especially seeing their work really highlighted in Knives Out and Glass Onion. If you're very quick and fast. Matthew Vaughn is wonderful with action and frenetic energy, very much like an Edgar Wright. Could Edgar Wright do it? I have not seen One Night in Soho, so I don't know where his filmmaking language and journey is right now at this point. But part of me feels like, what's his name? He directed Casino Royale. And he also directed The Mask of Zorro and Martin Campbell. I think he'd be great. He, I think, is just a swell director. GoldenEye. Come on, GoldenEye. He did GoldenEye. How are you not going to think about him for Metal Gear Solid, right? But maybe you want new directors, which again is another studio vehicle where they like, we have the star, we have the producer, we have the writer. We could put whatever director we want in the seat because all the previs may be already done if they have a good in with VFX house. But like how it's established franchise, but putting it into film means finding the right people after you figure out how to adapt it. That's correct. All right, correct. That's how I agree. That's correct. That's how I agree. But all that being said, I think I've spoken enough. I think I've hosted enough. We started a little early. If there's any last questions to ask, now's your chance. Did you make? Sorry, I just saw in the Discord there's a Fat Sal's Halloween thread now, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't wait. By the way, Tom, I made a thread of Fat Sal's. Yeah. Alex Garcia Lopez is my pick. I loved him since Blindside episode of Daredevil, Prison Escape in season 3. Um, Alex Garcia Lopez. Let me look this guy. Let me look. Alex Garcia Lopez. Let me see. Hey man, can you chill out? You see, look at this man. All right, you're good. You're a good storyteller. Can you also not take all the looks for everyone too? Jeez, we out here fighting for our lives. Oh, it looks like he's done some. Okay. Oh, did he direct the Cowboy Bebop show? Oh. He did some interesting things in the Cowboy Bebop show. Not my favorite cup of tea. I won't even say it's not my cup of tea. It's just not my favorite cup of tea. He did The Witcher. Did a Punisher. Ooh, Punisher. I could see why. Oh, he's done a lot of stuff for Netflix. A lot of stuff for Netflix. Yeah, I mean, Cowboy Bebop it was a very interesting show in itself as an adaptation. Metal Gear has that goofy edge that may work. Yeah, I know, right? Like smoking a cigarette to pass time or hiding in a box. And that's the thing. It's like, would it work? And it's like, it just depends, right? Because some people want to take the stuff very seriously, and some people don't, because there are goofy things in there, right? Like you can make an inflatable solid snake or venomous snake, I guess, in Metal Gear Solid 5. So that's a interesting thing. Not a doubt in my mind, that'd be cool. I could see that. But also, again, that's the thing where I think a lot of people think adaptations of IP is one and done. I think if it's allowed, it can have multiple versions. We've had how many Batmans? We've had how many Spider-Mans at this point? When we can continue to embrace different versions, I think we only win as we continue to really distill and figure out what we want from these things. And then even then, it might even create like brand new genres or brand new types of storytelling, right? Like Paranormal Activity and Blair Witch Project, right? These are brand new things in the field of film. I talked a lot about film stuff today. If you have any conversation talking points that you want to continue on the Discord, please check it out. Go through there, everyone. We're going to end the show there. Thank you to T-Dog, Johnny Horror, Battery Print for the questions, all the participation. Thank you for everyone that has been patient with this Nerd Tom solo. I like that because I like doing that because it's like, God, it's not that good. It's a little witty for first time. Second time, you're like, ugh, shut up. But we are going to end it there tonight. I'm going to go ahead and send you lovely viewers, watchers over to someone else in the Nope. I clipped that. I did not want to clip that. I just wanted to raid off someone else. We'll go to Ali Eldrazi because I'm going to be cracking some packs too that I got from mine right before I go to bed and get ready. Wish me luck tomorrow for the shoot. I wish you luck for the rest of your week. Hope you take care of yourselves. Also, end of the week, mid of the week, we are concluding the Capes Crusaders 4 Nights of Fright on Thursday, not Wednesday. So Wednesday, I will be streaming. Maybe I'll be streaming in my Halloween costume. I don't know yet. So that's going to be said. Okay, Caitlin's still streaming. Let's go ahead and stream her instead. I lied, everyone. It's not Ali Eldrazi, even though cool guy. What the heck? Can I? I'm just trying to find them. I can't. I don't know why. Is it with zeros? Of course, it's with zeros. That's why. I keep typing boobs and it's the wrong thing, and I was like, "What the heck?" Yes, go ahead, Hazer. Tell her the stream phrase is going to be Tom Solo or Nerd Tom Solo.
Emotional damage.
Thank you, Love Hammer. Anyways, yeah. Take care of yourself. So Wednesday, I will stream my stream. Thursday will be the conclusion to the Cape Crusaders 4 Features of Fright and 2 topics. I don't even know the topics. I got to read those topics and do that stuff. You don't have any people, Tom? Tom Solo. Yep. That's how it is. Thank you, everyone. Take care of yourselves. You know the drill. As always, nerd on.